this way to wake you need your hand away, break a thin shield. I kick your home back in your door, keep fucking me low, and you set me on. Downside some time, it's calling me you. Lost in the night with a dull image. Some kiss waves, your eyes holding mine, cut in hue, the music time.
Hey there, happy Sunday, and welcome to Dave's After Hours Trivia Club Live. Step inside the lounge, grab your drink of choice, and settle in. Here at Dave's After Dark, we stir up memories, test your smarts, and maybe, just maybe, teach you something new along the way. We do go live most Sundays, and sometimes even on Wednesdays, at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. The door swings open, the lights go low, and the trivia flows. Tonight's show is a little bit art, a little bit history, and all interactive game show. We've got 3 brand new countdowns rolled into one smooth late night challenge. While our robots paint each scene, I serve up the clues, and you will take your best guesses as we will move through tonight's 3 categories. First, it will be the top 20 strangest people to have ever existed. That should be fun. And then next, we'll do the top 20 CIA questionable endeavors. And finally, we will do the top 20 British Isle historic events. This isn't just a trivia show, it's a fast-paced gauntlet of art, memory, and mastery. Let's see how many you can guess before the brush finishes the final stroke. Now be sure to check in down in the chat. Say hello, throw out your guesses, or just hang out with the crew. Let's see who's here. Rowina's in the house. Rhombus, the early birds have arrived. And that means it's time to start our first round. All right, let's fire up those robots and cue up our first video. Let's get it rolling. Now, you guys know the rules. The robots do the painting, you do the guessing, and I give the clues. So let's play. Now, this category is going to be the top 20 strangest people to have ever existed. And we do have some strange ones. Here we go. Starting at number 20. Now, he was once considered Britain's largest man, but he did avoid the circus. Despite weighing over 700 pounds, he was known for his strength, not his sloth. He famously turned down offers to join sideshows, preferring dignity over spectacle. People are strange. Oh, yeah, that's from a song, right? Is that the Doors? Can't remember. He became a celebrity simply by being seen on walks through town. Yeah, I could see him becoming a celebrity from that. Now, Georgian, meaning Georgian in England, society couldn't get enough of his size and his sharp wit. Stuart's in the house. Hey, Stuart, we were looking for you for the answer. Do you know this guy? Is he a neighbor? Georgian society couldn't get enough of his size and his sharp wit. Anybody know who this is? This is way back in 1770 to 1809. He actually, lived 39 years, not bad. Daniel Lambert was his name. Daniel Lambert. His clothes were so massive, his coat became a museum exhibit. Now, I think you may know this one. She's been on the show before. She was haunted by guilt over her family's fortune. Some say spirits demanded that she never stop building her home. Remember this story? Her mansion has staircases to nowhere and doors that open into walls. Yeah, you know who it is. I've been there. I've been on the tour. I was but a wee kid. I think I was a Boy Cub Scout when I was a kid. When I toured the Winchester Mystery House. Her house took nearly 40 years of nonstop construction. It is called the Winchester Mystery House for a reason. And yes, her name is Sarah Winchester. You are correct. Sarah. 1839 to 1922. So she passed a long time ago. This house was built quite a while ago. I think they kept building it even after she died. I can't remember. Sarah held seances nightly to get architectural advice from the ghosts. Definitely not your average blueprint strategy. There you go. She qualifies as number 19 on our strangest person list. All right, number 18. Yeah, we're doing the world's strangest people. Number 18. I think you'll recognize this guy. He was rumored to have supernatural healing powers. His piercing stare gave Russia's nobles the creeps. He became mysteriously influential over the Tsarina. Assassins poisoned, stabbed, and shot him. He didn't go down easy. Yes, correct. You guys know. You know his first name? For extra credit? For extra credit. His death became the stuff of legend. And nobody was sure that he actually was dead. Yeah, he was mysteriously influential over the Tsarina. His first name was Gregori Rasputin. Born in 1869 and passed in 1916. Rasputin's murder attempt was so dramatic, it sounds like the Russian reboot of Die Hard. I don't know what that means. I think the robots are trying to make a joke. All right, number 17 on our list of strangest people. This is way back, 1742 to 1797. He was castrated as a boy, yet he rose to power. He ruled Persia with cruelty and cold precision. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. Right? Known for bizarre and brutal punishments. I guess that's his strangest qualification. His reign was marked by mass executions and zero remorse. His stoicism chilled even his allies. Ming the Merciless. That sounds like a baddie. Hi, Shih Tzu. What's going on, man? Good to see you. We are doing the strangest people. And this guy was 1742 to 1797 in Persia. And it was not Ming the Merciless. This guy's name was Agha Mohammed Khan Kaja. Agha Mohammed Khan Kaja. Rolls right off the tongue. He once punished an entire city by blinding all its male inhabitants. Definitely not a guy to cross. He qualified. All right, number 16. We're running into some strange ones. His appetite knew no limits. From live animals to garbage. He was kicked out of the army hospital for eating cadavers. Sounds strange. Doctors once tracked him by watching what he passed. He reportedly ate a toddler while hospitalized. Now that wouldn't be good. He could eat his own weight in meat and still be hungry. You ever heard of this guy? 1772 to 1798. Oh my gosh. There he is. It's a cartoon rendering. I wonder if this guy was real. I wonder if this is a legend, perhaps. Fat bastard, perhaps. This guy's name was Terrare. You ever heard of that? Terrare. Tarrare. 1772 to 1798. Real person. Terrare once tried to swallow a golden fork to impress the doctors. They never found it. Okay. All right. Well, that's a weird one. That's a strange one. All right, this is more of a normal strange person. This is recent. This lady was born in 1965 and she died in 2003. And she lived in London, Stuart. London. And she was surrounded by people, yet utterly alone. Her TV stayed on long after her life had ended. Automatic payments kept her apartment running unnoticed. She wasn't found for over 2 years. No one even realized she was missing. Do you remember the story at all? From London? 2003. This would have been quite the story. Yeah, all those are good political answers. Well, let's see. Blondie. Hey, doctor. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Yeah, she looks like Tales from the Crypt, but that's how you would look after 2 years watching TV. Dead. Her name was Joyce Vincent. The normal name, Joyce Vincent. Had her rent on auto payments, you know. When her body was found, she was so decomposed that they only recognized her from dental records. Her story inspired a haunting documentary called Dreams of Life. They made a story about her, no doubt. All right, here's another weird, I'd say probably British one. He once rode a bear into his dining room. It's 1796 to 1834. Didn't live that long. He tried to cure hiccups by lighting himself on fire. He bought 2,000 hunting dogs and drank 8 bottles of port a day. He burned through a vast fortune on pranks and nonsense. So he was an heir, and he just wanted to spend his money oddly. He eventually died insane, in debt, and hilariously infamous. Anybody remember this story? The guy who rode the bear, I guess. Some of these are a little weird. They are strange people. This guy's name was John Madjack Mitten. John Madjack Mitten. 1796 to 1834. Another Brit. He wore hunting gear everywhere, including to Parliament. Real commitment to the bit. Okay, John Madjack Mitten. You're never going to forget that now, are you? Maybe. In one ear, out the other. All right, number 13 on our weird people list. Now, this guy, actually, I think we've heard this guy on a previous story in some other context. Something about Alexander. He lived in a barrel and rejected all material possessions. This is all the way back in 412 BC in Greece. He famously searched for an honest man with a lantern. He was known to bark at people like a dog. He once defecated in public to make a philosophical point. They do that now, don't they? This is what he's famous for. He told Alexander the Great to move. He was blocking the sun. There he is. That's what the picture is there. The man who lived in the barrel pooped on the sidewalk. Hey, and you know it. And you know it. I should not knows it. Yes. I don't know how you say that exactly. Diogenes of Sinope. That's Diogenes of Sinope. Sinope. He's the old Greek guy. He was the OG troll philosopher. He was a troll. He would do great on X. All right, number 12. I don't know. Some of these are a little kooky. Number 12. Known as the Alton Giant from Illinois. Now, this is a real person for sure. He was born in 1918 and passed in 1940. He wore custom shoes that were 18 inches long. I'm going to ask you to guess how tall this guy grew to. He required leg braces just to walk. He did tour the U.S. with calm dignity and a massive handshake. He kept growing until his death. Yeah, I should say knows these freaks. Stuart, you had it first. Very good, Stuart. Oh, Doctor actually had it way back when. How'd you guys know all these freaks? Yeah, Stuart, you're right. 8'11". Can you believe that? 8'11". You guys have your cheat sheet of freaks in front of you? That'd be the way to go, I think. He kept growing until his death. His height was caused by a pituitary gland disorder that never shut up. He grew until his death. There you go. Robert Wadlow is correct. Excuse me, allergies again. All right, here we go. It's springtime. All right, now, I think you've heard of this lady too. Lady band, something. Born with hypertrichnosis. Hair covered her entire body. She had a condition also deformed her face and jaw. She displayed as a bearded lady in freak shows. She was displayed. She could dance, sing, and speak 3 languages. Even after her death, her body was paraded around Europe. Nice. You remember this lady's name? Anybody? Wolf Princess. Thumbelina. No. Haley Duck. No, not this one. This is the OG. 1834 to 1860. She had a relatively short life. 26 years only. Her embalmed remains weren't buried until 2013, over 150 years after she died. Her name was Julia Pastrana. Anybody? Does that sound familiar? Nah. Julia Pastrana. Google it. Google it. I dare you. She wasn't buried until 2013. All right. 10 more freaks. Or I'm sorry, 10 more of the strangest people that have ever existed. I think this guy qualifies. He was born with ectrodactyly, giving his hands a claw-like appearance. He did perform in sideshows under the name Lobster Boy. So that's half of the answer right there, right? That's the short answer, but he actually had a name. He has a name. Yes, it is the Lobster Boy. He was also a violent alcoholic with a history of abuse. Well, I don't want to, can you imagine? She'd be afraid of those claws, man. One shot and killed his daughter's fiance. I don't know what that means. Eventually, he was murdered by a hitman hired by his own family. This sounds like a dark story. I think we're gonna have to do a whole video on it. Maybe a whole live show, 2-hour episode, in depth into the story of this guy. I shit who knows his name. Very good. Grady Franklin Stiles. Did you know it's a junior? Grady Stiles Jr. Yeah. Doesn't sound good. Never died. That's a weird one. We like that one. This one's less scary. This gentleman could float for hours without effort. Can't really tell what's going on in that picture yet. He was tied to heavy lead weights, yet he still floated. Scientists were baffled by his buoyancy. Oh, some of these are weird. Performed stunts in rivers, harbors, and tanks. Oh, in a tank, yeah, I get it. Some believed his body defied natural laws. All right, anybody know either the short name or his actual name? This was 1859 to 1931, so he had a relatively longer life than some of these other folks. Harvard professors tried to explain him and gave up. Anybody know what this guy's called? This is the Human Cork. The Human Cork. I like that name. His actual name is Angelo Faticoni. Angelo Faticoni is the Human Cork. There you go. All right, down to number 8. This one's kind of interesting. 1710 to... Oh, they're not sure of the dates. That's the problem with this one, is they're not sure of the dates he lived. He claimed he was centuries old. He never seemed to age. He was fluent in many languages and was an accomplished musician. He said that he knew Cleopatra, Jesus, and Shakespeare. He attended royal courts, dazzling aristocrats with his stories. Yeah, you know it. Very good. Rhombus. You're correct. He is a count, of course. Count St Germain. Count St Germain. Legends say he faked his death multiple times. I don't know how that fits in. I don't get it. He may be history's most charming immortal, or the best long con man of all time. Yeah, St Germain. I'm not sure how you knew that. Never aged. He does kind of have a youthful, a baby face. Baby face. All right. So, number 7 is somebody from history that you have heard of. I don't know that we actually know his identity, so we only know the nickname for this guy. He is in prison. He was imprisoned for life in total secrecy. His face was always hidden by a mask. Guards were ordered never to speak his name. He was held by the French government without explanation. No one knows who he was, even today. Yes. Almost Stewart. There you go, Rhombus and Doctor. You guys have the full answer. It is indeed the man in the Iron Mask. Was there a movie or something about that? Why do we all know that? His story inspired books, movies, and conspiracy theories. It's a historical mystery at its finest. At its finest. It's related to Napoleon, huh? Okay. It wasn't Napoleon himself, though. Leo DiCaprio. Oh, it was in the movie Napoleon. I got you. Okay, well, you know. At least we knew about that one. All right, number 6. I think the robots are stretching to fill in this category. I think they're stretching. This one's interesting, though. This is actually the first European to fully navigate the Amazon River. Does anybody know who that was? He claimed to see warrior women. The Amazon legends. He spoke of golden cities and massive civilizations. His tales were dismissed as fantasy for centuries, except nowadays. Archaeology has since proven some of his stories, at least, are definitely true. Anybody know what this guy's name is? Let's see. This is not Leo DiCaprio. Hey, Alex, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. We got the gang all here tonight. Good to see everybody. Vasco da Gama. Good guess. Incorrect. This guy's a little less known. Ponce de Leon. No, he's the guy that did the Fountain of Youth, right? He's the Fountain of Youth guy. The Amazon guy, his name is, oh, you know it. Francisco de Orellana. 1511 to 1546. Didn't live too long. He may have discovered the truth centuries before science caught up. All right, number 5. Now, you may have heard of this guy. He filed his teeth into fangs. He tattooed green scales over his entire body. He split his tongue down the middle, implanted horns beneath his skin, and he turned himself into not the Snake Man, not Reptilia. Well, those are both close. Those are both very close. Those are both close. But those are incorrect. Anybody know? Oh, there you go. Ashitsu knows his name. Very good. Very good. Eric Sprague is correct. AKA, not the Snake Man. It is what? The Lizard Man. The Lizard Man. He was born in 1972. There you go. The Lizard Man. Eric Sprague. I don't know what possessed him, but anyway. Okay. That's cool. There you go. Number 4. Oh, we're down to the last 4. Thank goodness. A respected geologist and theologian. He attempted to eat one of every animal on Earth. Another one of these guys that likes to eat weird stuff. He claimed mole was the worst. A mole is the worst tasting animal. He allegedly tasted the mummified heart of a king. I don't know if it was a pharaoh. A mummified heart. He gave lectures while writing on fossilized hyena poop. Huh? Sounds like another British guy. He said he only regretted 2 meals. Blue bottle flies and the mole, of course. He hated the mole. Have I ever heard of this guy? Nope. Yeah, the mole tastes worse than the decomposed heart. William Buckland, 1784 to 1956, so he lived relatively long. He said he only regretted 2 meals. There you go. Kim's in the house. What's going on? What's going on? We're down to the top 3 weird people. Now, this guy's definitely weird. Definitely weird. He's said to have had a second face on the back of his head. The second face whispered evil things at night. I think I'd do something about this. He allegedly begged doctors to remove it. Yeah, no doubt. This guy died of suicide in his early 20s. Yeah, yes. His existence is still debated. So, is it fact or fiction? Sounds too strange to be true. Anybody remember this name of this guy? Oh my goodness. That would be problematic. This was sometime in the 1800s. This guy's name was supposedly Edward Mordake. Mordake, M-O-R-D-A-K-E. Yeah. Oh, parasitic twin for sure. Whether real or fictional, Edward's tale is a staple of every creepy compendium. And the second face even smiled when he cried. Like the robot's trying to give us a little joke there at the end. All right, now I think you know both of the last 2 here. So these are more well known for sure. Number 2, he suffered from extreme deformities due to rare disorder. He was displayed in freak shows before finding refuge. He became known for his gentlemanliness and intellect. He gained friendship and dignity through medical care. Yeah. You guys got both the name and the nickname. Very good. You guys remember when this guy lived? He didn't live that long. He only lived for, 38 years, it looks like. He did die from his condition, likely while trying to sleep like a normal person. Okay. Despite his appearance, Merrick was a poet and a gentleman. His tragic story moved Victorian England. Yeah, Joseph Merrick is correct. Known as the Elephant Man. That's right, Michael Jackson. That's right, 1862 to 1890. And there was the fairly popular movie, right? Elephant Man. Who made that movie? I can't remember. Yeah, it's a fairly popular movie. Okay, number 1, one of my favorites. I've done a whole video on him. He is a billionaire aviator, engineer, and filmmaker. He became increasingly paranoid and reclusive. He demanded total sterility. He sealed himself in hotel rooms. Correct. He collected his own urine in jars. He spent his final years as an obsessive germophobia recluse. Yes. I think didn't he live in that, the Landmark Hotel, the one that was round, and it had a giant round floor on the top? I'm thinking that's where he lived. I'm not sure. He lived in one of those hotels on the top floor. Correct. Howard Hughes, of course. He was quite the guy, though, right? I mean, amazing aviator, amazing engineer, and he was a filmmaker. Made some good movies. And he was quite the ladies' man. He had some ladies in the day before he went a little cuckoo. Howard Hughes, 1905 to 1976. He once bought a whole casino just to fire someone he didn't like. There you go. That's one way to take charge and get rid of the guy. All right. We made it through that category. It was a little different. It was fun. All right, it was fun. Fun category. What the heck? Oh, syphilis is the reason he went crazy. No, I can believe that. Definitely, I can believe that. Yeah, nice shoes, huh? Those were quite the stylish shoes. Now, I don't know what the concept was, why he wore those kind of things for shoes. Not sure. Yeah, he had an idea he was working with there. I'm not sure what it was. Okay, we're gonna do CIA. So if we suddenly cut out, or we suddenly go off the air, you'll know why. Because we're getting a little too deep. The robots dive too deep into the CIA. All right, here we go. Got it? All right. Well, I know you guys know the rules. Robots do the painting, you do the guessing, and I do drop the cool clues. So let's go ahead and play. And once again, keep quiet, but we're going to do the top 20 CIA questionable operations or endeavors. Here we go, number 20. All right. Yeah. So, I know you know the first one. You got that going for you. After World War II, America got very cozy with former enemies. Some recruits had resumes that included rocket science and war crimes. These experts weren't just brainy, many had Nazi affiliations. The program brought German scientists to the US, no background checks required. Yes, very good. Not bad. Their knowledge helped launch America's space and weapons programs. Anybody know what years was Operation Paperclip active? Yeah, very good. Stuart von Braun. Very good. Yeah, Werner von Braun. Werner von Braun. Well, obviously the war ended in 1945. So there you go. I should say not bad. 45 to 19, all the way to 1959. They were scouring the planet, trying to get them all. And they brought them all over. There they are, the Operation Paperclip Boys. Among the recruits was Werner von Braun. He built rockets for Hitler before NASA. All right. I knew you'd know that one. You're going to know them all. It's just, you're going to have to combine the clues with the pictures because, it's hard for the pictures to tell the whole story. This covert mission overthrew a democratically elected leader. The target's only crime was nationalizing his country's oil business. It took place in the country of Iran, or Iran. I ran to the store, and changed the Middle East forever. The CIA and British intelligence teamed up, who'd have thunk, to reinstall a monarch. So what was the operation to reinstall the monarch in Iran? Because he nationalized oil. That wasn't good. That hurt the profits. The resulting backlash paved the way for revolution, which eventually happened in 1979. So this was kind of the background when the CIA and British intelligence removed the country's ruler and reinstalled the monarch. A model that they repeated over and over. Anybody know? This was called Operation Ajax. Operation Ajax. The U.S. apologized decades later, but the fallout from this op is still shaping geopolitics today. There you go. Okay, another bad story. Number 18. These are all bad stories. A charismatic African leader was eliminated shortly after independence. His assassination involved Western intelligence services. The CIA backed his rival, who would become a brutal dictator. This all happened under Cold War panic about communism in Africa. This guy's name was Patrice Lumumba. Does that sound familiar at all? Patrice Lumumba became a martyr, and Mobutu ruled for decades. So this bad guy, Mobutu, came in because the CIA put him in there. Anybody know where this is from? Yeah, exactly. Doctor, you are correct. You know when it was? Wasn't. Yeah, well, I guess it was a long time ago now. But the U.S. originally planned to poison Lumumba's toothpaste. Sounds like that. Yeah, they were really into that stuff back then. Poison the toothpaste. Anyway, yeah, this was the Congo crisis, 1960 to 1965. Yeah, you got it. Poison is toothpaste. Nice. All right, now you've heard of this one. Let's see if you can put the things together. This was designed to root out enemy sympathizers during the Vietnam War. Now, it included blacklists, torture, and extrajudicial killings. Suspects were often civilians with no trial, no mercy. Even U.S. military officials were disturbed by its brutality. It became synonymous with CIA overreach in wartime. Does anybody remember the name of this program? So, yeah, it was Vietnam, and they worked with the South Vietnamese Army, and it was spooks, all spooks. And they were actively, you can see these guys, just, normal spooks running around Vietnam. Yeah, it's like Colonel Kirk. It's only, just out in the open. You might know what the program was called. It ran from 1965 to 1972. This was called, I'm going to give you going once, going twice. It's called the Phoenix Program. The Phoenix Program. Some estimate over 20,000 people were killed under Phoenix, with little proof of guilt required. Yeah, so, I don't know what the courts would have to say about that. We can't even kick out the illegal alien gang members. All right, number 16. Now, I think you've heard of this. This was a domestic surveillance project targeting anti-war activists. It spied on Americans, breaking the CIA's own rules. They're not supposed to spy on Americans. The CIA is supposed to only operate overseas. The operation infiltrated civil rights and protest movements. So they were after black people and hippies. Files were kept on thousands of U.S. citizens. Anybody remember what this operation was called? It was exposed during the Watergate era investigation. Now, this has some overlap with the hippies and Charles Manson and all that stuff. There's some overlap. Anybody remember what it's called? This was called Operation Chaos. Operation Chaos. The CIA wasn't supposed to operate on U.S. soil. Chaos blew that boundary wide open. Yeah, Operation Chaos. Google that. You'll find nothing. You'll get a blank page. All right. Number 15. Number 15. A Latin American, can't really tell yet. A Latin American president lost his job for giving land back to the people. It's problematic. U.S. fruit companies didn't like that. This is the whole banana war. Where the term banana republic comes from, I think. The CIA engineered a coup using a fake invasion and propaganda. This is in 1954. 1954. Anaconda. I like that name. No. This ushered in decades of military dictatorships and civil war. It was one of the agency's first big successes. It was the U.S. Fruit Company. They were protecting the fruit business. It wasn't the Dominican Republic. It was actually in Guatemala. Guatemala. This is known as the Guatemala coup of 1954. The term banana republic became chillingly literal in this case, thanks to United Fruit's influence. All right, got to protect those corporations. Yeah, there's a lot of current information coming out on all this stuff that will again, of course, be buried before it comes out completely. All right, number 14. Now, this is the lesser known sibling to MK Ultra. We're not looking for MK Ultra per se. This was focused on drug testing and behavioral control. Subjects were often unaware and unwilling. So this is all the way back to the 1950s. It was about finding the perfect interrogation cocktail. There he is. He's trying to serve up the perfect cocktail. So they're trying to figure out what they can inject into these guys to get them to tell the truth. Psychedelics, paranoia, and zero ethics. Many victims never knew they were part of an experiment until decades later when the lawsuits started. All right. Anyway, this was actually called Project MK Search, not MK Ultra. So there you go. This was when they were first exploring all the different drugs to try to get people to tell the truth. And they just injected it into everybody just to test it. Why not? Yeah, there you go. All right. Now this one's somewhat familiar. Number 13. This is a Cold War fever dream focused on one man, Fidel Castro. Various plots included poison pins, exploding seashells, and exploding cigars. It was cartoonish, yet deadly serious. The goal was to assassinate a communist leader by any bizarre means necessary. So this is not the Bay of Pigs. The Bay of Pigs may be on this list. We'll see. But this is, I can't remember if this is after or before. This is the same time frame. For sure. They were, this is basically trying to assassinate Fidel Castro. What was it called? The operation was inspired by Bond villain ideas than real results. Well, that's actually Fidel, I think. That's Fidel Castro there. And the operation to assassinate Fidel Castro was called Operation Mongoose. Is that familiar? Operation Mongoose. Yeah. I don't know why it's called Mongoose. I don't. Yeah, I should say. There you go. Correct you are. All right, we're down to number 12. So this one's good. Zelensky would like this one. And apparently Macron and the British guy and the German guy that were all on the airplane the other day. The CIA-backed rebels fighting Nicaragua's leftist government. Somehow, cocaine smuggling became part of the strategy. Journalists linked U.S. support to the crack epidemic in California. The CIA denied everything, but evidence piled up. Conspiracies turned into inconvenient truths. Communism in America. No. But this was a weird story. So this was part of the CIA trying to get guns to the rebels and support that by making money selling cocaine. They basically helped the black gangs in LA invent crack to get people more addicted. It was all the CIA. Very good. It was called the Contra cocaine scandal in the 1980s, so not that long ago. This scandal fueled distrust in the U.S. government and helped inspire the film Kill the Messenger. There you go. All right. So I think somebody mentioned this one earlier. This was part of the whole Castro thing. This was a failed invasion designed to overthrow Castro. Poor planning and bad intelligence led to disaster. The operation was exposed immediately and globally. It embarrassed a new president just months after he took office. There you go, everybody knows. Very good. A Shih Tzu, Stewart, Doctor. Yes. Yes, it was very embarrassing. This kind of ended the good positive vibes between Kennedy and the CIA. Instead of liberation, it cemented Cuba's alliance with the USSR. Yeah, so this threw Cuba into Russia's hands. Back in the USSR, baby. Kennedy took responsibility, but privately blamed the CIA, sparking lifelong mistrust. Lifelong is a odd choice of words. You are correct. This is the Bay of Pigs invasion, 1961. Way back, 1961. There you go. Now remember, we're doing things the CIA did badly. Bad things they did. Missteps. CIA missteps. That's a nice way to put it. All right, number 10. A democratically elected Marxist was overthrown with CIA help. The U.S. feared a second Cuba in South America. Economic sabotage and propaganda laid the groundwork. Yeah, so this is the beginning of, I don't know if you've heard of economic hitmen. Economic hitmen, there's books on that. Check that out. Allende died. Pinochet rose, ruling the brutal force. Democracy was trampled in the name of capitalism. You might remember this? That's actually Henry Kissinger. This wasn't that long ago. This is 1973. So, CIA was up to no good just consistently over the years. Not Argentina. That's a better guess. Second guess is better. Correct. The Chilean coup. 1973. Declassified documents later showed the CIA's fingerprints all over Chile's collapse. Mr. Kissinger. Yeah. Definition of deep state. There you go. All right, we're down to number 9. Now, this one's a little more generic, so we're just going to tell a little story here and see how it goes. From Asia to Africa, the CIA backed strongmen over socialists. So this is their pattern now. These leaders brought order through repression and violence. The Shah of Iran, Suharto, and Pinochet topped the list. U.S. interests were protected, no matter the cost. Human rights were optional. The irony is that many regimes that the U.S. helped install would later be overthrown in anti-American uprisings. Yeah. So this is a funny picture. This is like some truck driver driving around all these regimes that the CIA helped put into power. This is called the CIA ties to dictators during the Cold War. The irony, of course, is that they all backfire, everyone. So, bad CIA. All right, this next one involved Europe. And you may have heard of it. There's been some books on this one. Number 8. A NATO stay behind program that turned rogue. It stockpiled weapons in case of Soviet invasion. Allegedly funded false flag attacks to sway politics. Ah, yeah. The old false flag. Left-wing movements were framed and targeted. Italy, Belgium, and others saw waves of strategic terror. In one of the most jaw-dropping stories of the Cold War, paranoia, part fact, part shadowy legend. So anyone remember the name of this operation? It was the false flags in Europe, leave behind weapons, kind of like establish opposition groups that were just fake. It's kind of like in the U.S. they do the same thing. They make fake Nazis. It's called Operation Gladio. Operation Gladio. I know these are getting a little obscure. Hopefully we'll get through the... you had it. I should... Stuart, you guys all had it. Very good. Awesome. Awesome job. Yeah. How about that? All right, this next one's hard too. I'm going to give it the year. 1962. 1962. It's got a common name that you might have heard of. A proposal to stage fake terror attacks on U.S. soil. The goal to justify military action against Cuba. So they were setting up Cuba again. Civilian casualties were on the table. Yeah, see, that's why we're all skeptical about everything. Even 9/11, people are skeptical about. JFK rejected the plan. And not long after, he was assassinated. So this may have been the operation that got JFK killed. It was never enacted, but terrifying, it was even suggested. They were going to do false flag terrorist attacks against American people and blame it on Cuba. There you go. Had it been approved, the U.S. might have bombed its own citizens in false flag attacks. Anybody know this one? This is the false flag attacks that probably is the thing that got JFK killed when he nixed the plan. This is called Operation Northwoods. Operation Northwoods. They list the year at 1962. So there you go, Operation Northwoods. And apparently that's the guy that was behind the whole thing. He later got in trouble for it. There you go. All right, now we'll do some more modern stuff, okay? Some more contemporary CIA bad deeds. Bad deeds. Suspects were kidnapped off the streets. They were flown to secret prisons in other countries. No charges, no trials, just torture. Waterboarding. And other stuff. Allies participated. Oversight was minimal. Yeah, there's some stories about Woody Harrelson's dad. I don't remember the details of that. Black sites became a global open secret. The program sparked international lawsuits and damaged Americans' human rights image. Now, of course, the CIA couldn't come up with their own operation name for this. But people have started to call this the extraordinary rendition. Extraordinary rendition. Anyway, so there you go. They're extraordinarily renditioning these guys. The program sparked international lawsuits and damaged Americans' human rights image. There you go. Yeah, the whole JFK thing. Woo. They released all the stuff, but you still can't figure it out. So complicated. Crazy. All right, number 5. They're totally related to the last one. Waterboarding, sleep deprivation, mock burials. These methods were labeled enhanced interrogation. CIA contractors ran it with near total cease. Some victims were later proven innocent. The program's legality and morality remain hotly debated. The Senate Intelligence Committee's 2014 report called the program ineffective and brutal. So this just is the torture at the black sites, right? They actually did the waterboarding and all this stuff that they weren't supposed to do, and they did it. Anyway, it was all kind of post 9/11, you know, we were pissed off. We got hit, and we weren't going to stand for it. So there you go. People do bad things. CIA is at the spear point, the tip of the spear. CIA. All right. We got 4 more. Then we'll be done with this category. So this category doesn't play as well. It's all kind of just too dark. Number 4. All right. We've heard of this. The CIA's mind control experiment that went completely off the rails. This is the one the movie was about. With, what's his name? What's the kid's name that was in the movie? Doses of LSD were administered to unsuspecting civilians. Subjects jumped out of windows or went insane. Files were destroyed in a cover-up. Yes, very good. No ultra. I like that answer. Prophesis is slightly more correct. Maybe that was a spell correct. Spell check. It's the granddaddy of all conspiracy theories, and much of it's true. You are correct. MK Ultra. Supposedly ran from 53 to 73. Supposedly they ended it in 73. Now, do you believe that? Is that? I'll tell you what. That first kid that shot Trump in the ear. That seems like an MK Ultra setup. The project was so secret that even presidents weren't fully briefed. MK Ultra. There you go. Okay, we got 3 more. That's kind of interesting. These are all interesting. The last 3 are all pretty interesting. Here we go. Support for the Mujahideen indirectly fueled the heroin trade. Warlords used CIA money to expand opium production instead of using it for weapons and food for the soldiers and stuff to fight the Soviets. They used it to expand opium production. The results: narco-terrorism and global addiction. Nice. Victory against the Soviets came with a chemical price. And this chaos involving the whole opium trade helped birth the Taliban. Where the Taliban came from. Somebody had to run the drug trade. Yeah, the Taliban origin story. There you go. Yeah. The CIA and the Afghan drug trade is the name of the operation in the 1980s. And in trying to beat one enemy, the CIA may have helped create the next two. And that's usually the way the CIA works, right? Hit one enemy, start up two new ones. It's good for business. Good for future business. There they are, look. The Marines working with the Mujahideen. Yeah, well, they did. They paid for a lot of their operations with drug trade, right? What do they call that? Air USA or Air America? Air America movie, flying cocaine around. All right, now this is pretty current. Journalists covering the CIA became surveillance targets. So did whistleblowers, exposing government secrets. Even Senate staffers weren't safe from spying. From the 1970s to Edward Snowden, the pattern continued. Press freedom clashed with national security. Head to head. Guess who lost? The CIA literally hacked into Senate computers during the torture investigations. We were looking at those torture investigations. During that time, the CIA was hacking into the senators' computers. That sounds treasonous to me. I don't know what you think. This is Daniel Ellsberg in the picture. I don't know if you remember that story. He was one of the whistleblowers, essentially, right? So this is the big story on number 2, the second most important one, surveillance of journalists and whistleblowers. So these were supposedly all 20 to 1, right? Countdown. Second most important. There you go. And the most important. Can you imagine what the most important one was, if that's number 2? And this one has a name you'll not. So we need to get the name of this operation. A massive propaganda effort targeting the media. Journalists were paid to push CIA narratives, and they still are today, of course. Newsrooms were infiltrated, foreign and domestic. They shaped Cold War public opinion with subtle bias, sometimes not so subtle. Truth was optional, so long as it served the strategy. Operation Fake News is, of course, correct, although that's not the name of the operation. It has a name. It has a name that people know, and you should know it. You need to know it. Everyone needs to know it. And then Google it. Google won't give you nothing. Put it into Grok it. Many historians believe its effects linger, raising tough questions about modern media trust. You think? You think it's lingering? This was called, yes, there you go, I should do. Correct. Operation Mockingbird. Dan Rather, the original Mockingbird. They're all mockingbirds. All right, well, got fun at the end there, right? Got fun at the end. All right, British folks, prepare yourselves. We are going to do the top 20 British Isle historic events. So I imagine these are supposed to be like the most important turning point events in the British Isles history. So they involve the whole British Isles. All right. Let's go. Yeah, it turns out the CIA is not your friend. Not your friend. Yeah, I'm very much feeling bad about it. A little chafed about it. I do have some stories too that we'll talk about in the future. We'll do more on the CIA in the future. This is the top 20 British Isle historic events. Starting with number 20. It started with radio and became, this is the 20th most important event in British Isle history. It started with radio and became a global media powerhouse. Started with radio. Known for informing, educating, and occasionally interrupting tea time. Don't interrupt tea time. Its iconic news voice once declared, "This is London." It helped keep spirits up during World War II. That's good. Yes, of course, you guys know. Yes. What about the BBC? What's the most important event? It is the blank of the BBC. The blank of the BBC. The BBC was the first to broadcast a monarch's coronation live. Turns out even kings need good ratings. Okay, the beginning. No, not the beginning. What did God do? What did God do? The creation of the BBC. All right, let's get a little picky. We'll let that pass. That's a good one though, right? That was important. Wasn't that important? You guys agree? Disagree? Creation of the BBC, important. Okay. Number 19. This one, some of these I didn't know about, so they're interesting to kind of learn about them. Power started moving away from Westminster. It gave parliaments and assemblies to Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Local governments began making more of their own laws. The move sparked debates over independence and unity. It did mark a turning point in UK constitutional history. So now this happened in 1998. Not that long ago. 1998, 1999. They passed some laws that changed the power from all being centralized to more spread out. What was that called? Anybody know? Apparently it was important. Regional voting, I like that. Decentralized, I like that. You know what they call? They call it the De-Evolution Acts. The De-Evolution Acts, or the Devolution Acts, I guess you would say. Devolution Acts. Yeah, there you go. Scotland even got its own version of the First Minister's questions. There you go. All right, number 18. So, similar, but much earlier. This one created a new political entity across the sea. It merged Ireland into the United Kingdom. This was in 1801. It was unpopular with many Irish nationalists. It sparked decades of constitutional tension and rebellion. It legally bound the British Isles into one state. So this is the time that it actually all became one. What did they call that? Yeah, I think that's right. I think the doctor more or less has it there. Despite the Union, Ireland never truly felt united, especially after the 20th century. So this was called the Act of Union. The Act of Union. There you go. Yes, and I think the bonus fact is correct. Despite the Union, Ireland never really felt united. 1801. There you go. It sounds important. Kind of a weird picture, though. I don't know how else to show it. There you go. Robots are trying their best. They're doing their best. Sometimes, they're robots. Number 17. All right, so this happened in 1921. So that's the date. Guerrilla warfare met empire in the Irish countryside. British forces faced ambushes, boycotts, and political subversion. It ended with a controversial treaty. Ireland was partitioned. North and South took different paths. A free state was born and conflict smoldered on. We know what this was called. I don't know. Was it called the Easter Uprising? I never heard that. It's not the Isle of Man, I don't think. 1921, guerrilla warfare met empire in the Irish countryside. So obviously some sort of rebellion in Ireland. It's called the Irish War of Independence. Does that sound right? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Irish War of Independence. This war featured spies, shootouts, and a secret government running out of safe houses. Almost like a Netflix thriller. But let's try to make a little joke. The Irish War of Independence, 1919. Sound right? Number 16. A lot of these are like wars and battles and stuff like that. So good luck. Number 16. I'm going to give you the date. Help you out. 1688. So you could Google that real quick. 1688. A king was booted out without a full-on war. Parliament invited new monarchs to take the throne. Protestantism won the day again. It led to a Bill of Rights and less royal power. Glorious is generous unless you were King James II. Okay. What was this called? This was called the Glorious Revolution. That sound familiar at all? The Glorious Revolution? It was a revolution so polite, the monarch fled without a final sword fight. Very on brand for the British. The robot's taking a little shot at the Brits. Oh, the Glorious Revolution, 1688. There you go. Was that the Cromwell one, or is that something different? We'll see. Maybe it was. 15. Now, this is the name of a battle. Okay, I need the name of a battle. In 1690, this was a battle that shaped centuries of Irish Division. Over in Ireland. William of Orange faced off against King James II. It wasn't just about religion, but it looked that way. Protestants gained the upper hand in Ireland. Parades still commemorate the outcome of this battle. Yeah, very good. There you go. You got it. Go on. The Battle of, how do you say that? Boyne? 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 Boyne. Boyne. Give me the phonetic pronunciation. Spelling. Phonetic spelling, please. William won with help from Irishmen, and James ran back to France. Very awkward. Very awkward for James. The Orange Man. There you go. That was number 15. Here's number 14. Another battle. Another battle. This one's way back, though. This is all the way back in 1314. This is pre-Black Death pandemic. The Scots got scrappy under Robert the Bruce. This is Robert the Bruce. England brought the heavy cavalry, but they lost. It became a rallying cry for Scottish independence. The English king fled the field in disgrace. It's still celebrated by Scotland's proudest patriots. There you go. That's correct. Don't do it. George. You are both correct. The Battle of Bannockburn. It wasn't just a win. It was a medieval mic drop for the Claymores. A medieval mic drop. Now one guy's got a big hatchet. Looks a little rough. The Battle of Bannockburn. Way back in 1314. Kind of crude weapons. Not many guns. The Jacobites. Never heard of them yet. All right, number 13. This one is a little more peaceful, but important. This is all the way back in the year 1215. Who knows what happened in 1215? A rebellious group of barons cornered their king. They demanded that he stop being such a royal jerk. The king reluctantly agreed to some of the rules. It laid the groundwork for constitutional limits on monarchy. It became a symbol of law over arbitrary power. Yeah. You are correct, Doctor. I should too. This is when they signed the Magna Carta. Sounds like an interesting story that the king really didn't want to sign, but he was forced to sign. King John didn't stick to the deal though, so they had to fight about it later anyway. So they signed up front. There you go, Alex. Yes, you are correct. Magna Carta. All right. Well, that was number 13. There it is, Magna Carta. He's still signing. You're still gonna have to fight about it. There it is. All right, number 12. This is a war. This one's a war. 1642 to 1651. a long war, 1642 to 1651. It pitted the Roundheads versus the Cavaliers in a Royal Rumble. Sounds like a wrestling match. Parliament fought the king and eventually chopped off his head. I believe this might be the Cromwell situation. The monarchy was abolished for a while. Oliver Cromwell ruled as not quite a king. It was a war over how power should be shared. So, 1642 to 1651, Roundheads versus Cavaliers. This is all known as the Civil War, correct? Yes, it is the Civil War. The English Civil War. Much more civilized. The Puritans canceled Christmas during the AC era. Seriously. No figgy pudding for anyone. Canceled Christmas. The English Civil War. I can't tell what's going on in that picture, but it doesn't look good. I think they're taking the head off the king there. Not sure. All right, number 11. We're down to number 11. Now, this was important. This happened in the late 1700s, so just before 1800. Machines took over. Goodbye handcraft, hello factories. Coal powered everything, including a few child laborers. I don't know what that means. Britain's cities exploded with smog and opportunity. The working class and steam engines both roared to life. It made Britain rich and grimy. Yes, looks like you're all getting it. Stuart maybe got it first. Doctor, I should not. It is the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution. It actually went on for a long time. I guess it's still going on today. But it started in the late 1700s. It made Britain rich and grimy. This was the original startup boom, except with soot, smog, and spinning jennies. What was the TV series in Manchester with the gang? What's it called? What's it called? The gang's name? With Tom, somebody. Great series. It is set in the Industrial Revolution. Yeah. All right, number 10. This was important. If I give you the date, you should get it. 1348. 1348. It came by ship, and it brought death in days. Fleas, rats did the dirty work. A third of the population perished. Labor shortages gave peasants unexpected power. This was a weird outcome. It shaped society, economics, and faith. Correct. You guys all know. Peaky Blinders. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Thank you for that. The Peaky Blinders. Great series. I love that. The Black Plague is, of course, correct. I should too, Dr. Rombas. People thought it was caused by bad air, divine punishment, or neighbors. It was caused by the neighbors. Anyway, the interesting thing was, economically, after that, it gave power to the peasants because there wasn't enough labor. So the peasants suddenly had lots of power, get paid more. There you go. Not enough of them. All right, number nine. Number nine. Most important historical events in the British Isles. A king got tired of waiting for a papal annulment. He wanted to divorce his wife. It didn't come fast enough. He broke up with the Pope and the monasteries. Wealth and land flowed into royal hands. England became officially Protestant. I think it is King Henry, but what's the event? England became officially Protestant, monks were evicted, and relics were tossed. That's maybe the key clue. Monks were evicted, and relics were tossed. King Henry VIII dissolved more monasteries than marriages, but not by much. This is called the Reformation and the dissolution of monasteries. The dissolution of monasteries. 1530s, way back when. Yeah, Becker. Dissolution of monasteries. You are correct. I think all those things are true. You guys had lots of correct answers. All right. Number 8. This is another battle. This is way back. 1066. An important battle in 1066. One king died with an arrow to the eye. That would hurt. Ow. A Norman duke became the conqueror. French influence flooded England's culture and language. I think everybody's got to get this one. Castles and feudalism took over the landscape. A tapestry tells the whole dramatic tale. Yes. But what was the battle called? You guys have the battle up there? I don't know if I saw the battle yet. Yes, Rhombus. A tapestry tells the whole dramatic tale. That's interesting, right? There's this tapestry, which I don't know if this is the tapestry. It may be. Is this the tapestry I'm showing? I think it is. The English crown has been Norman ever since. There you go. The Battle of Hastings. Yeah. Is correct. 1066. Way back in the day. That's our oldest one, I think. Oldest important date. All right, well, let's jump all over the place because that's what the robots like to do. This is number 7. 7th most important. I'll give you the date. 1707. 1707. One kingdom to rule them all. Well, 2. England and Scotland merged parliaments. Trade and taxes became shared. The nationalists weren't thrilled, but the economy grew. This is what actually marked the birth of Great Britain. Now, does anybody remember what it's called? It's like I'm looking for like the name of the law, the name of the thing that happened. Put it together. Scotland kept its own church and laws. No kilts were harmed in the merger. There they are. They're getting together peacefully, and they're passing something that was called. It was called the Acts of Union. The Acts, ACTS S, not A-X-E, the Acts of Union. There you go. All right, learn something every day on Dave's After Dark. Number six. So this was unfortunate. Kind of an interesting picture. I don't know if you can get it from the picture, but it's an interesting picture. Potatoes rotted, but grain still left the island. Over 1 million died, and millions more fled. This is in 1845 through 1852, a period of time. British aid was slow, minimal, or cruel. Irish resentment hardened for generations. It changed the population forever. Forever. Yeah, you guys all know. It is the Irish potato famine, the Great Famine in Ireland. The potato famine. Sorry. The famine sparked, I shouldn't laugh. The famine sparked a massive Irish dysphoria, especially to the U.S. Irish diaspora. Diaspora, does that mean like a departure? Where many became political leaders. There you go. Well, anyway, so that's a monument with sculptures. See, those are like sculptures. Weird picture. There you go. All right. Potatoes. Top five. Here we go. Number five. 1689. What happened in 1689? No more divine right of kings. Sorry, monarchs. Parliament gained supremacy over the crown. This is when Parliament gained supremacy. Civil liberties became law, not suggestions. It influenced democratic movements worldwide. It followed the Glorious Revolution. Yeah, yes. So, Bill of Rights is correct, I should say. But it is not just the Bill of Rights, because in America we have a Bill of Rights. But it's a certain Bill of Rights. 1689, it was before the American Bill of Rights. Think of it as Britain's Constitution without the fireworks and the powdered wigs. I think they had powdered wigs still. This is the English Bill of Rights, of course. So you are correct. Bill of Rights. That was in 1689. All right, we're down to number four. Number four. That's what's important. I've covered this one quite a bit in other shows. I believe I've had a couple videos on it. England's smaller fleet beat the mighty Spanish Navy. Weather and tactics did the trick. Queen Elizabeth, her speech rallied the nation. I'm sure that was it. Protestantism held firm against the Catholic ambition. It made England a rising naval power. Yeah, you guys know. Yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's the defeat of the Spanish Armada, right? And what year was it? Anybody know what year the defeat of the Spanish Armada was? The Armada's defeat was so celebrated, they made medals out of the wreckage. Cool. Well, I'll tell you. It was 1588. It was the defeat of the Spanish Armada. There you go. All right, we got 3 left. We've got 3 left. Here we go. It was said the sun never set on its lands. Trade, conquest, and colonization spread British rule. It controlled a quarter of the globe. Revolutions, wars, and independence movements broke it down. It left a complex legacy across the world. Yeah, of course. Of course. It is the British Empire. Of course, it is a little more officially the rise and the fall of the British Empire. 16th through 20th centuries. That had a run. Tea in India, railways to Africa, cricket in the Caribbean. Think or blame the British Empire. There it is, the British Empire. All right. We got 2 left. We have 2 left. We're still celebrating the British Empire over here. Yes. All right. Glad to have the Empire over with. Down to number 2. London burned, but never broke. 1939 to 1945. Civilians slept in tube stations during air raids. Churchill rallied the nation with speeches and cigars. Yeah, you guys know. Britain stood almost alone in 1940. Victory reshaped its role in the world. That's not a, I don't know if you can tell, that's kind of a bombed out picture of London. Really bad looking, right? A lot of those photos of World War II are just amazing. The aftermath of the London Blitz. Anyway, World War II and the Blitz, 1939 to 1945. One slogan said it all: keep calm and carry on, and they really did. Yeah, B2 von Braun, there you go. It's all tied together. It's all connected. All right, so we're down to the number 1. What do you think the number 1 is? What's the most important thing in the history of the British Isles? At least according to the robots. Anybody know? Well, it involved Emperor Claudius. The Beatles. I think that's a good answer. Queen is a good answer. That's also important. Emperor Claudius sent the legions. Roads, cities, and aqueducts followed. It was kind of like the Hicks in England before these guys came. The Druids weren't fans of the new bosses. Latin law and coins became common. It tied Britain to the classical world. Yes, David Bowie. That was it. I believe Stuart has the correct answer. The Roman invasion of the British Isles. If I remember what year that was. Are you guys around? Do you remember what year it was? Harry and Meghan. Could be. They built Hadrian's Wall to keep the wild Scots out early in real estate with security features. So, they took one look at the Scots and said, we don't want to go up there. 43 CE, 43 AD. There you go. All right, we made it through the British. All right, so I don't know if you guys are up for bonus round tonight or no. Your choice. The category I have lined up is top 20 inventors through history. Something we did maybe 4 months ago. Okay, I see a couple thumbs up. All right, let me take a 1.5 minute break, and I will put a little video on while I take a quick break, and I'll be right back, okay? And we will do that. Olmec art is captivating, bold, intricate, and symbolic. Jade figurines, masks, and altars tell stories of power, spirituality, and mythology. The most famous motif is the were-jaguar, a blend of human and jaguar traits symbolizing both human authority and the mystical power of nature. These figures, often depicted with almond-shaped eyes and downturned mouths, hint at the dual nature of rulers as both mortal and divine. Artisans also carved thrones and stone altars with scenes of rulers holding infants, perhaps signifying lineage or divine right. The craftsmanship is meticulous, using stone tools to shape the dense jade and basalt. Through their art, the Olmecs expressed a complex worldview, blending earthly power with supernatural influence, leaving a lasting mark on Mesoamerican culture. All right. Hope that was entertaining for you. Like the Olmecs, I have a long form video coming out, I don't know, about a week from now on the Olmecs. So we'll do that. All right, you guys up for the, so I have three, it looks like I had 3 thumbs up, so we'll do the bonus round. I will there you go. You know the rules. Robot paint. Yes, I give the clues. Top 20 inventors through history. Number 20, he was important. No slacker, even though he's number 20. Before his invention, books were laboriously copied by hand. His innovation helped fuel the Renaissance and the Reformation. So I guess we're looking for the name of the inventor most importantly. But then if you have some of his inventions, he was a German craftsman skilled in metalwork. His machine used movable type to mass produce written works. He revolutionized painting with his famous printing press. There you go. Yes. Who remembers Mr. Gutenberg's first name? It wasn't just Mr. His first major print project was the Gutenberg Bible. I don't think it was called that back then, was it? One of the most valuable books in history. There he is. Working away. Gutenberg, the printing press. Johannes Gutenberg. Simon. No, not Simon. Simon says Johannes Gutenberg. Number 19. Number 19. This guy created something in 1989 that you use every single day. We're using it right now. He was a British computer scientist working at CERN. His invention relies on HTTP, HTML, and URL. It connects billions of people worldwide in an instant. Who is it? What did he invent? Be specific. He never patented his invention, ensuring that the internet remained free for public use. But he didn't invent the internet per se. He invented, looks like we're having a little slow time. We're having the slow internet. This guy invented the World Wide Web because, yes, Al Gore invented the internet, as we all know. This guy's name was Tim Berners-Lee. Hyphenated last name, Berners-Lee. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, sort of knows. All right, number 18. Let's go back in time just a little bit. His most famous invention changed the agricultural industry. It led to both economic growth and increased reliance on slavery. He also promoted interchangeable parts for manufacturing. His machine separated seeds from a popular crop. Yeah, doggo. You are correct. What was his first name? What was Mr. Whitney's first name? And what did he invent? Though his invention was groundbreaking, Whitney made little profit due to widespread patent infringement. Damn. Elroy. Close. Elroy is very close. Sounds like Elroy. But it is Eli. Eli. Oh. Okay. Number 17. I'm having a hard time following the chat. A little random. Number 17. This is one of our favorites. One of our favorite gentlemen on the show. He was a founding father of the United States. He flew a kite during a storm to prove a scientific theory. He invented bifocal glasses and the stove. Not just all the stoves, certain stoves. His work with electricity led to a key protective device. Name an invention. Who's got an invention besides the ones I mentioned? Anybody? Oh, take it easy, Alex. Later on, man. See you next time. This is our friend, of course, Mr. Benjamin Franklin. And it's he invented the lightning rod as well as many other things. Franklin never patented any of his inventions, believing they should benefit everyone freely. There you go. Ben is one of our favorites here. All right, number 16. This might be a little harder. Before his invention, long-distance communication was slow. He was also a skilled artist. His work helped lead to telegraph lines spanning continents. He created a system using dots and dashes. Who knows who this is? Not Alexander Graham Bell. This is the dot and dash guy. This is before Alexander Graham Bell. This is before that worked. No telephone yet. There you go, dogger. What's Mr. Morris's first name? You guys aren't big on first names. The first Morse code message sent was, "What hath God wrought?" They were so shocked. What hath God wrought? Seymour is close. Once again, close. But no cigar. Samuel Morris, of course. Samuel Morris. All right. You guys are doing pretty good. This one might be harder. His work involves storing and generating energy. His last name is now a unit of electrical measurement. He was an Italian physicist. He created a device that produced a steady current. What do you say is incorrect? Not Mr. Watt. Not Mr. Watt. This is the other unit of measurement. And this is the guy who invented he invented the battery. Okay? This guy invented the battery. Who? Fahrenheit? 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 Fahrenheit, you say? Incorrect. There you go. So, almost. So, Rhombus is onto it. Stewart's onto it. I guess we'll give it to Stewart on that, but Rhombus almost had it. Alessandro Volta. Alessandro Volta invented the battery. There you go. Important. Important. Everybody knows this guy, though. For some reason, everybody knows this guy. He worked with Thomas Edison before they became rivals. His inventions included high-voltage electrical coils. He promoted alternating current electricity. His ideas laid the groundwork for wireless energy transmission. He invented the certain coil and AC power system. Yes, of course, Mr. Nicole Stewart. Very good with the full answer. Rhombus, not quite correct. It is Nikola, not Nikolai. Very precise here tonight. Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla. Born in 1856 and passed in 1943. Tesla once claimed to have designed a death ray that was never built, fortunately. Mr. Tesla, death ray. No wonder they killed him. Glow stick. All right, number 13. Seems like you guys had this answer earlier. This is the guy who improved a machine that changed the industry forever. His innovation made steam power more efficient. His name is now used for a unit of power. Oh, must be a conspiracy theory then, Stuart. Sorry, you know me and the CIA. They do one bad thing. They could have done that too. They could have. He improved the steam engine. Yeah. I should too. Anybody remember Mr. Watt's first name? The watt, the unit of power, is named in his honor. W-A-T-T. Mr. Watt. There he is. Mr. James Watt. Yeah, there you go, Stuart. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Famous inventors is what we're doing. We're down to number 12. I think I've seen this answer on the board. He had a deep interest in sound and speech. His mother and wife were both deaf. He was part of the first ever phone call. His invention changed global communication. Yes. Yes, doctor. And what was Mr. Graham Bell's first name? He invented the telephone, of course. The first phone call message was, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." Except for it was more like, "Mr. Watson, I want to see you." It sounded more like that. Yes, thank you, sir. Rombus. Alexander Graham Bell. You guys got it. There he is. Good likeness. All right. Now, this next one, I'm going to insist on the first names. There's two of them. They have the same last name. They were bicycle mechanics before their big achievement. They made history in North Carolina in 1903. Their success lasted only 12 seconds at first. Their machine allowed controlled, powered flight. Very good. I should not with the full answer. I can't remember which one was the pilot and which one was got to stay on the ground. I can't remember. I think they took turns, but yeah. The first plane, the Wright Flyer, is displayed at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. There you go. 1903. First airplane. Amazing. Can you imagine? From 1903, it's been longer from the moon landing to now than it was from the Wright brothers to the moon landing. Is that true? All right. Same length of time. Crazy. Chad and Benny. Maybe not. Number 10. This gentleman's invention was never fully built in his lifetime. It relied on gears, levers, and mechanical processing. He worked with Ada Lovelace, an early computer programmer. He designed a machine capable of calculations. He conceptualized the first mechanical computer, although it wasn't put together during his lifetime. Yeah. Yeah, you got it, Stuart. Very good. I'm going to tell you his first name in this case. Is Mr. Charles Babbage, born in 1791, passed in 1871. So this is way back in the day. Do you know what his computer was called? Anybody know? What was his computer called? It was built in the 20th century using his original designs. It was called the Difference Engine. The Difference Engine. That's an interesting story. Maybe we need to go into more depth on that one in the future. There you go. Number 9. You know this guy? Because he held over 1,000 patents. He made some money. He founded a famous research lab in Menlo Park, New Jersey. He improved early sound and motion picture devices. So he improved early sound and motion picture devices. His most famous invention helped light up the world. Yes, you guys all got it. Very good, very good. What was his most important invention? Besides improving the phonograph and the movie camera. He improved both our movie projector. He improved both of those. What did he invent that changed the world? No, that didn't change the world. That would have been nice. He improved it. They actually invented the thing he's holding there. He invented the light bulb, not electricity. No, he didn't invent electricity. He invented the light bulb. Light bulb. Then there was light. Number 8. Oh yeah, let's go back in time. 287 BC. Way back when. This gentleman was an ancient Greek mathematician and inventor. He discovered principles of buoyancy and levers. His machines helped defend against Roman invaders. He developed a water lifting screw that is still used today. Yeah, I should too. It's the other guy, Rompus. The other guy. He shouted "Eureka!" after discovering displacement theory. That's where it came from. And in addition to Tesla inventing a death ray, did you know that Archimedes also invented a death ray? It was mirrors reflecting sunlight. Oh, sounds nasty. I can see like burning bugs, but you burn Romans with the death ray. Archimedes. There you go. Stuart got it too. Great. Number 7. Another favorite here on the program. At number 7, he improved an important optical device. But he didn't invent it, he improved it. And he is the one who first observed and described the moons of Jupiter. His work got him in trouble with the Catholic Church. Yeah. He championed the heliocentric model of the solar system. He improved the telescope. He didn't invent it, he improved it. Yeah, doctor. And I always like to say his first and last name. There you go, Stuart. Thank you. Because it's fun to say, right? Galileo Galilei. Born in 1564, passed in 1642. He was forced to recant his findings when he was under house arrest. There you go. Galileo Galilei. One of our favorites here on Dave's After Dark. All right, that takes us down to number 6. Galileo. Gotta love him. Gotta love him. Figaro. Number 6. His discoveries helped save millions of lives. He developed vaccines for deadly diseases. He studied bacteria and how they spread. His process makes milk and food safer. Yeah, Stewart, Dr. Stewart. Correct you are. It is Mr. Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur. He also developed the first rabies vaccine. That was probably important. People used to get bit by animals more often, right? Or more animals had rabies, I guess, too. Louis Pasteur, born in 1822 and passed in 1895. Checking in at number 6, our most important inventors of all time list. That takes it down to the top 5. Top 5. All right. Louis. Goodbye to Louis. This gentleman made communication possible without wires. His work laid the foundation for modern broadcasting. He transmitted signals across the Atlantic in 1901, before the airplane. His technology led to radio, TV, and Wi-Fi. Yeah, you guys know this one. Dr. Stewart Rhombus. Now I'm going to be impressed if you know this guy's first name. Oh, yeah? Tesla invented the radio? Well, maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe so. He invented transmitting waves through the air, right? For sure. Tony Marconi. I've heard of him. Wasn't he on a sitcom? I think Tony no. He has an interesting first name. It's Guglielmo. Guglielmo Marconi. All right, let's move on. Number 4. These guys were brothers. Their invention lifted off in 1783. It worked using heated air. They were French inventors. French. It was the first form of human flight, well before the airplane, 1783. They invented the hot air balloon, of course. Who are they? Who invented the hot air balloon? Their first public flight in 1783 carried an unusual crew. Guess who they took up their first flight? A sheep, a duck, and a rooster. This test was done to observe the effects of flight on living creatures before sending humans into the sky. Those were their test pilots. Seems like the rooster would jump out of there. This is the Montgolfier Montgolfier brothers. Montgolfier. Montgolfiers. There you go. Okay, top three. Let's do it. This painting's already half done. Who's this? Who's this guy? He was a German mathematician and an astronomer. His mentor was famous Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe. He studied planetary motion and how planets travel through space. He discovered that planets move in ellipses, not perfect circles. He formulated the laws of planetary motion, shaping modern astronomy. This guy was kind of important. Not Magellan. This is an astronomer, not an explorer. There you go. And Doctor, what was Kepler's first name? His work influenced Isaac Newton, who later built upon Kepler's findings to develop the laws of gravity. Kepler is correct. And this is another Johannes. That's a famous inventor's first name, Johannes. Johannes Kepler. All right, number 2 with a bullet. Top two. I bet you could guess the top 2 inventors on our list without any clues or pictures. This gentleman was a key figure in the scientific revolution. His famous book, Principia Mathematica, changed physics forever. A story, possibly exaggerated, claims that Apple helped inspire his ideas. Yeah, the apple bonked him on the head, right? That would get your attention. Yeah. You guys know it. Dr. Stewart. Very good. He invented calculus and explained gravity. Newton also dabbled in alchemy and once worked as a warden at the Royal Mint, helping to combat counterfeiting. That's right, he was trying to convert like iron into gold or something, right? He was trying to develop an unlimited source of gold. Oh, really? That's interesting. Isaac Newton is, of course, correct. Rob Bass, you dog. Ross, you dog. You are clairvoyant, Rhombus. Clairvoyant. Number 1 on our list. Once again, undefeated world champion, inventor. He was a true Renaissance man, an artist, a scientist, and inventor. His notebooks combine sketches of flying machines, tanks, and robots. He designed an early concept for a helicopter, centuries before they were built. His famous paintings include The Last Supper and Mona Lisa. He envisioned aeronautics, anatomy, and robotics long before its time. Leonardo. You know, Leonardo's mirror writing notebooks were so advanced that some of his ideas weren't built until modern times. That's right, he used to write like backwards or something. Yes, Leonardo. Quite the accomplished gentleman. 1452 to 1519, so back in the day. He must have been a time traveler. What do you guys think? Do you think Leonardo might have been a time traveler? What was that Michael Crichton movie about the traveling through time? What was that one? Timeline or something where they go back in time and help fight the battle that wins the castle or something, and they get trapped back in time, and they try to rescue the guy. And I can't remember that. Well, you guys know the movie I'm talking about? Time travel and it's set back in old France castle time. It was a cool movie. Yeah, good job, guys. You guys had every one of the inventors, I think. All right. Well, it's fun. We did a lot. We covered a lot of ground tonight. Back to the Future now. You guys remember the one I'm talking about? I think it was called Timeline. Timeline, is that right? Michael Crichton, right? And the story was they invented something where you could travel back in time, and this one guy went back in time, but he got stuck there. And so like his glasses, his modern glasses or something got buried, way back in time. And then when his descendants were digging up the ruins in the France cathedral, they found these glasses, and they go, "These are modern. Why are they in with all the stuff from the 1400s?" I forget what it's called. It was awesome. Timeline, I think. Not sure. Yeah. Pretty cool movie. It covers a lot of ground. Michael Crichton movies, they're a little hard to make. Anyway, guys, once again, certainly appreciate your time and effort. And it's always fun. I don't know what we're going to do. What's tonight? Is tonight Sunday? Tonight's Sunday. So that means next time is Wednesday. I better get to work. Hopefully we'll get something done on Wednesday. I had some kind of good news today that I did, 3 or 4 little shorts from our shows. I do little clips that are maybe 50 seconds long, and they're little pieces of each round. And YouTube finally showed them a few times, so that was good. I had a couple thousand views on each one, so that may be helpful for the future. We will see. All right, guys, take it easy. I will put on I don't know if you noticed, anybody that was here for the intro, it was a slightly new intro. I slightly modified the intro. So I'm not going to play the intro again right now. I'm going to play the old outro. But pay attention next time. Come early for the intro. World War II movies. Oh, you missed the World War II movie. You missed that one. Well, I probably have not posted that yet, but I will. That will get posted as a video, so you can always check it out. And then, we can make it a bonus round coming up. I'll make a note of that, Stuart. We'll make that a bonus round coming up soon. All right, guys, take it easy.
The night wears heels, she struts alone. This bar